and how to go ahead in that association, whom to choose. The fourth verse speaks about by what exchanges we can develop, not only develop, strengthen our relationship with the devotee, association of the devotees. What constitutes the association of the devotees? So that he speaks in fourth verse. And in fifth verse, he speaks about whom to choose to serve in that association. And then in sixth, what not to do also he speaks in association. So the next coming verses are more about one particular aspect of the very essential aspect of the devotional service association. So that's what the upcoming verses speaks about. So now we will just see the last portion of the third verse we paused at last time. Third verse we are seeking. So third verse is speaking about Utsahat, Nishayat, Dhairyat. Actually, one point Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions that Utsaha, enthusiasm, is the life of faith. Very profound statement he makes. Utsaha, enthusiasm, is the life of faith. Faith means, let us suppose we say that I have faith in Krishna, I have faith in law of karma, I have faith in the existence of the soul, I have faith in the existence of Supreme. So when we are saying faith, the life of faith is the enthusiasm. Means that if you are not enthusiastic about practicing the particular item related to that, whatever, especially devotional service, so then the faith is not actually is considered having a life. Means, let us suppose I have life, means I act. If I don't have life, I am dead, my body is lying, then I don't act. So that is the importance of life. So enthusiasm is the life of faith. Means if you have faith in devotional service, means we need to act. So if we don't act, acting in the sense we are working, we are doing something for the service of the Lord, for the pleasure of the Lord, for improvement of ourselves. Many people say that I have faith in God, I have faith in religion, I have faith in Krishna, but they may not be actively doing anything in their life. So they may say that I have faith. That is not actually considered a faith as per Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So the enthusiasm is considered the life of faith. That is practical, as Prabhupada wrote in the first statement itself. Devotional service is not some mental speculation or imaginative ecstasy, but the substance is practical activity. So bhakti is always is activity in terms of expressing our love towards Krishna. So that one point we need to understand, enthusiasm is the life of faith. And then in Sahat, Nishchaya, Dhairyat, we have seen many beautiful points of Prabhupada, how he gives himself as the example. Dhairya, there were no results, but still he was continuing endeavoring patiently. When he started single-handedly, he mentions, I continued, though there were no results initially. Just like Mother Yashoda also was pursuing to find Krishna, though it was quite difficult to find him Krishna initially. So though there were no result, but she was determined. She was very patient. So to find Krishna. So dhairya, confidence and patience, both go together. So if you have just confidence, if you have just enthusiasm without patience, then Prabhupada gives the example of a girl who is trying to have a child, but if she is not patient enough, she cannot have child. So that's the both we need to have, both utsaha and Nishayat and Dhairya. All things are a little more connected together. Things are. Tattat Karma Pravartanat. We follow the 9 limbs of devotional service. We execute them, 9 limbs, practically. And Prabhupada emphasizes on 16 rounds and 4 regulative principles, even in the previous verse also. Niyamagraha, Niyamagraha. He also mentions we follow 16 rounds and 4 regulative principles. And Tattat Karma Pravartanat, Sangha Tyagat Sato Vritte. We give up the non-devotee association. So we discussed about association means that we are picking up their intentions and desires. Association is not just physical proximity, but what we are trying to get or trying to imbibe from them. So we have seen that giving up association means we give association, we don't take association from others, especially non-devotees. Definitely we need to take association from other devotees and senior devotees, counselors and spiritual masters, exalted devotees, from the characters of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So from all this we take association. That means we take the desires and intentions and their moods, etc. We try to imbibe, follow. That is the Sangatyaga Sattva-vritti, Shadbir Bhakti Prasiddhyati. In that we especially focusing on 16 rounds and 4 regulative principles, Prabhupada mentions. Of course, they don't improve automatically. Initiation means it's a starting point. It's not the end of our spiritual life. It's starting our spiritual life, initiation. So the more, though definitely they are very basic principles, but they are foundation. We need to focus on them, the improvement aspects in 16 rounds and 4 regulative principles at various levels. So by that we go ahead in spiritual life very steadily. In 16 rounds we need to chant very attentively and with proper consciousness, proper desires, and also the 4 regulative principles. Externally we definitely follow, but there is a lot the improvement of these 2 aspects internally at various levels. Kaya, Manasa, Vacha, we need to improve them. At least as my understanding and experience, I recommend that at least once a year we need to do some japa retreat, japa reform, because our japa, the whole our spiritual life, Prabhupada many times mentions is based on 16 rounds. So we need to improve them day by day as we progress in spiritual life. So at least once a year, if we do at least some japa kind of retreat, japa retreat, any of these, some senior Vaishnavas, there are so many great souls, always offer some courses and japa retreats, so that we take some time out to focus on improving them. Otherwise, day in and day out, we chant 16 rounds, they become kind of a mechanical most of the times. So that's my recommendation. So that will help more and more to advance in devotional service. Definitely, we are doing other aspects, photographs we follow, but the basic things need to be given, especially chanting 16 rounds and following 4 regulative principles need to be focused and improved at various levels. Okay, so we continue. Prabhupada here in regards to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he is mentioning about, he is quoting from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, explaining about how we need to boost our confidence by Shastric understanding. So one thing called Lok Shraddha and another thing is called Shastri Shraddha. So our life has to gradually shift from Loka Shraddha to Shastri Shraddha. Lokashudra means we understand, okay, we need to follow some religion, we need to worship some higher personalities so that we will be happy in this life, so that we are protected from all the dangers and our family is protected. So these are all some basic moral or religious principles that people try to understand and try to offer some kind of worship to the higher personalities, empowered personalities, divine personalities. But Shastri Shraddha is based on Shastra, what Shastras are saying. So by reading and based on Shastra, we when we go ahead in spiritual life, that gives like a more of a uh, spring effect. Our spiritual life goes very fast when we base everything on Shastra. So that's why Shastri Shraddha is very much needed. So that's why Prabhupada is also quoting from Shastras to give us confidence more about spiritual life and how we need to engage in spiritual activities with confidence in the result that will come and with patience. So that's how he quoted many verses from 10th canto, 3 verses from Bhagavad Gita. Also, he quoted Kaunteya Pratyanahi Name Mrita Pranashyati. That everyone has a fear. I mean, we are all having so many fears, doubts. So we also need some encouragement and confidence. So definitely Krishna is encouraging in Gita also through Arjuna to us, all of us, that this path is very much safe and no need to no need to worry at all. So these are all some aspects to improve to increase our confidence in the path of bhakti. So these are mentioned by Prabhupada in the purport. Kaunteya Pratyanahi Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Nehaduttama Shastri Pratyavayo Na Vidyate. So Swalpamapyas Dharmasya Prayato Mahato Bhayat. So one's advancement is protected. Even one is passing from one life to another. One should not fear that our advancement is lost. No, one should be confident. And whatever we do in this life, the spiritual advancement will be there definitely. So that's the main point that Prabhupada is driving here in this section. To give us confidence more and more. So we continue. So can you read? Someone can read.
I will read, Prabhu.
I think we had completed this last time. We had come till the next one. I think there are certainly many good qualities among fruitive actors. At that point we had come. Next paragraph, I guess.
Hare Krishna.
Are you able to hear me, bro?
I am unable to hear.
Even I didn't understand.
Prabhuji, speak little louder actually.
Who is reading?
We had completed this particular para. We were on next para, I guess.
Prabhuji, what is saying is this para is completed and we need to go to the next para.
Okay. Sorry, I could not. Yeah.
Okay, bro. Although fallen devotee may take his next birth in a low family, his devotion services will be nonetheless resume from where he left off. Devotion services apratahita. It is not that is not the effect of any mundane cause, nor it can be terminated by any mundane cause or permanently contained by any mental interruption. Therefore, a devotee should be confident about his engagement and should not be interested in activities of families, nannies, and yogis.
Yeah. So here, Prabhupada making a very powerful statement, very hope-giving statement as well. Devotional service is so pure and perfect that once one has begun it, one is forcibly dragged to ultimate success. Dragged is a very kind of a forceful word. Dragged to success, but it is a more in a positive term. I think one devotee shared a beautiful comic, at the same time comic picture based on this statement. I will just share that one. It's how Krishna is trying to give us impetus to one drags to success. I'm just sharing picture. Yeah. He's saying that what Krishna is saying. Read. Someone read. What Krishna is saying.
You started the
You
process.
started the process. Yeah.
No,
Yeah, Prabhuji, go on.
you started the process. No quitting. I'm gonna drag you to the goal.
Yeah.
But I want to quit. Devotions are perfect that once having begun, one is forcibly dragged to ultimate success. Very good. Prabhu.
Yeah. It's a quite beautiful hope giving at the same time, quite common. So the definitely sadhaka is feeling it's quite hard. Chant 16 rounds, day in and day out, follow regulative principles. Do this, don't do that, don't do that. But still, once Krishna caught you, and he is not going to leave you. That's the beautiful, profound, hope-giving statement. That you started the process, no quitting. I'm going to drag you out the door. Okay. So yeah, this shows the potency of the process. That's Prabhupada's main point. That it shows the potency and the power of the process that it has, and also it has a charm. It has that the nectarian taste. Of course, the Prabhupada translates one of the famous Bhagavatam verse, bringing out the same theme that even if such an immature devotee falls down, there is no loss on his part. On the other hand, what is the gain of one who exudes the prescribed duties according to Varnashram Dharma? This is a beautiful shloka is there in first canto, 5th chapter, where Narada Muni explains about the process of devotional service, and even if one falls also, there is no any kind of, one will come back definitely. By remembering the past experiences of devotional service, one will come back. Many devotees also in our movement, initially because of their utsahamayi, means false enthusiasm, they joined 1 or 2 years, 3 years, executed, and they left the movement. But later on also they realized the beauty of the process and potency of the process. Many of the devotees came back, and Prabhupada definitely invited everyone, even sannyasis also. He could revive back into devotional service and engage them in devotional service. So that is the potency and the purity of the process. And we need to be careful. Prabhupada is mentioning that this karmi, jnani, and yogis association means their mentality is also, we need to be careful about enjoying mentality or renouncing mentality and perfectionist mentality. We need to be careful about while practicing. And then Prabhupada is focusing on, if you are feeling it's a very tall order, it's a very process is I am not very much having good qualities to practice devotional service. Rather, I may feel also, sometimes it may appear that outsiders are, little better in terms of qualities and other things than me. It may appear like that. Here Prabhupada is addressing that one, but that one should not feel discouraged, because outsiders may appear to be very highly elevated sometimes in qualities, but I am just struggling. That is addressing now. Please read.
Yes, Praveen, shall I read? Okay, there are
Yeah.
certain many good qualities among fruitive actors, philosophical speculators, and mystics, but all good qualities ultimately develop in the character of a devotee. No extraneous endeavor is needed. As confirmed by Srimad Bhagavatam 5.18.12, all the good qualities of the demigods progressively become manifest in one who has developed pure devotional service. Because a devotee is not interested in any material activity. He does not become materially contaminated. He is immediately situated on the platform of transcendental life. However, one engages in mundane activity, be a so-called jnani, yogi, karmi, philanthropist, nationalist, or whatever, cannot attain the highest stage of Mahatma. He remains a Duratma or cripple-minded person. According to Bhagavad Gita 9.30, Mahatmanas tu mam partah devim prakritim ashritah bhajanti ananyo manaso Natva Bhutadidam Avayam. To son of Partha, Pratha, those who are not deluded, the great souls are under the protection of divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotion service because they know me as a supreme personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Since all the devotees of Lord are under the protection of His supreme potency, they should not deviate from the path of devotion service and take to the path of karmi, jnani, or yogi. This is called utsahan nishchay dhairyat tat tat karma pravartanat. Enthusiastically executing the regularity activities of devotion service with patience and confidence. In this way, one can advance in devotional service without hindrance. Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhupada is coming back to the original point that he was trying to make. The internal energy and external energy Prabhupada spoke about. The marginal energy is trying to take shelter of either external energy or internal energy, by which one is forced to work. So he is concluding with the same theme. So the crippled, we should try to become Mahatma by taking shelter of internal energy, devotional service, and not become Duratma by taking shelter of jnana, yoga, karma, etc. That's what he is trying to, at the end, is concluding with these statements. By that we go ahead without any hindrance in devotional service.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the point here. I think one just wrote one.
Actually, Prabhuji, we quoted from Bhagavatam. Which chapter from Bhagavatam is it? 5 point?
Yeah, he quoted that one. Bhagavatam 5th canto, 18th chapter. About devotion, these are qualities. How a devotee, practicing devotee, will automatically, there is no need of extraneous endeavor in terms of karma, jnana, to develop these qualities. In terms of, as you mentioning, that a devotee is definitely will achieve these qualities.
There are 26 qualities are there.
Yeah, as mentioned. Correct. These are all about Utsaha, Nisyaya, Dhairya.
Prabhuji, one more thing.
Yes.
We also mentioned that, mundane things don't affect devotion services, spiritualism. Can you take me to that paragraph?
Mundane things cannot.
Just go up. You have written here mundane things. Here it is mundane, nor it can be terminated. Mundane was a permanent content by any material interruption. So yes, even actually, Vishwanath Chakra Thakur says, if we due to any mundane reason we cannot give bhakti, it's because of a previous, because of its mercy of the Lord or mercy of devotee, we got devotional service. Because if we have done some pious activity because of which we got devotional service, that is wrong. We should think that way. Yeah.
So you are saying mundane devotional service is it is not it is not the effect of any mundane cause, nor it can be terminated by any mundane cause or permanently corrected by any interruption. Yeah, what you mentioned is correct. It cannot be affected by anything material because it's entirely spiritual. It's Antaranga Shakti of the Lord. So it cannot be destroyed and it cannot, but we need to be careful about aparadhas. Aparadhas are quite destructive to devotional service. We need to be extremely careful about aparadhas. Otherwise, it is always nothing else can stop bhakti. But we need to be extremely careful about offending Vaishnavas, especially aparadh when we talk. It's not simply disrespecting or they're all different grades, but mainly when we are trying to drag a devotee down in his devotional service maliciously, intentionally trying to drag him in devotional service, obstruct his devotional service. So these are all very, very destructive to our spiritual life. So we need to be careful about that. And small things definitely we need to be careful about. Respecting others, honoring others, not trying to find faults with others. These are all definitely at small level, but envying in such a way that we are trying to drag others down in their spiritual life, that is very, very destructive. And that Krishna also doesn't protect one if one is trying to do that. Yes. Okay, I'll just make one or two statements by Prabhupada about this verse. I just noted down from his conversations and lectures. Very beautiful. Yeah, about karma and jnana and yoga, they are not just paths, but they are mentalities, as we discussed also last time. Here, Vishnu Swami asking a question. Prabhupada, when you said that determination is the important factor for achieving success, and I just want to keep this enthusiasm always. I mean, how does one feed the fire of this enthusiasm and determination always when we're dealing with so many things that can frustrate or whatever later on? So Prabhupada is answering, well, determination means you will be enthusiastic also. That is one part of the determination. That's all. Utsahat dhairya tat karma. Prabhupada is quoting third verse. Utsaha, that enthusiasm is the real beginning of determination. So Utsaha has this. Unless you are enthusiastic, how your determination can continue? So determination, your enthusiasm, patience, working in regulatory principle, these are the different functions of determination. Determination means one word of all these things. So Prabhupada is trying to keep in a zip file of determination. The determination, once we have determination, means one word of all these things: enthusiasm, patience, working hard with confidence. These are different features of determination. So Prabhupada is giving a more on a practical platform how we need to be determined. So the more we are determined, we can take it may take different branches of utsaha, dhairya, and following, executing the regulated principles, following the footsteps, giving up association of non-devotees. It may take different branches, but the determination is like a main trunk. Determination is like a main trunk, as Prabhupada is trying to keep it simple and practical. So the determination we exercise from intelligence has two functions, as I mentioned: discrimination and determination. These are the two functions of intelligence: discrimination and determination. It has to discriminate, intelligence, and it has to be determined. It has the feature of determination. So that's why when we read, when we hear, when we associate with the devotees, our intelligence should be nourished. That means our discriminative power has to be sharpened by reading Shastra, by hearing from devotees. So, what is good, what is bad, what is favorable, what is unfavorable. So, these things has to be sharpened by our Shastric study and hearing. And also, it boosts our determination. Just like we read this statement and we read this shloka, it gives us more determination to follow the principles very strictly or determinedly. So that's how we keep on strengthening our determination. So the other things also will progress ahead. So this is another from my lecture. Utsahat means you must be very enthusiastic that in this life, in this human form of life, I must complete my spiritual consciousness or God consciousness, so that in the next life I may not have this material body. That is called Utsahat. Utsahat means very much enthusiastic. Just like a man is very much enthusiastic that in this life I must accumulate $10 million in the bank. And he does work with great enthusiasm. Similarly, we must also have also similar enthusiasm that in this very life, in this very human form of life, I must make my spiritual life perfect. So that after leaving this body, I may not come again to this material world. That is called Saha enthusiasm. Now, there are many beautiful statements and lectures of Prabhupada in which he brings out various slokas of this NOI. Whenever you can go through leisurely, whenever you have some time. So basically, the third verse is focusing on what are favorable things, and Prabhupada is giving a very practical and simple formula of determination. We are determined at all costs, and from the determination, all other branches of the six limbs will definitely take the branches from the trunk. Okay, so we proceed to the fourth verse, where Srila Rupa Goswami now focusing on particular limb association, because association is the root, is the main trunk around which the Bhaktilata creeper grows. As I showed last time, the Bhaktilata is growing, and the center, the main trunk is shown as a association of the devotees. So that's the main aspect. So how to develop association? What constitutes the association? So he speaks in this verse. So we read the verse. We will just read. You can read the translation. Maybe other devotee, next devotee.
I'll read, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please continue.
Um, I need to read from last two verses, right?
There is translation. You can read first.
Okay. Offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad, and offering prasad are the six symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. Last two verses, especially last verse, stressing about the association of devotees, is a crucial factor. Tata Vritti. How the association develops and how it has to be maintained and sustained. Introduction. In this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami explains how to perform devotional activities in the association of other devotees. There are six kinds of activities: giving charity to the devotees, accepting from the devotees whatever they may offer in return, opening one's mind to the devotees, inquiring from them about confidential services of the Lord, honoring prasad or spiritual food given by the devotees, and feeding the devotees with prasad.
Yeah. So here, so Rupa Goswami gives very brief, at the same time very profound ways of developing a relationship. Bhakti, especially the Bhakti process, the foundation is developing a relationship with the Lord. The science of relationship, Prabhupada translates in Bhagavad Gita, the fourth chapter, that verse which speaks about how the knowledge is lost. Yoga Nashta Parantapa. So there he translates the science of relationship which was lost is revived again. That's what Prabhupada, just I'm trying to paraphrase, but he uses the word the science of relationship. So bhakti is the process of trying to develop a relationship with the Lord. And that will happen slowly by developing relationship with devotees also. It's a two-way process. So we practice devotional service, and at the same time we try to associate with devotees. And in the association of the devotees, we develop a relationship with them. So how to develop relationship with them? So these are the main 6 things. Any relationship will definitely have these 6, whatever, wherever it may be, either in a material life or in spiritual life. These 6 things will constitute a relationship. Prabhupada explains with examples also. So these are the basic, simple things at the same time. Basic things are the simple things that we can enhance, we can develop relationship, we can maintain relationship, and we can strengthen the relationship by these 6 exchanges. And also we can repair the relationship, whatever strain is there. Sometimes there will be definitely strain in the relationship. By following the 6, again the strained relationships can be revived. So that's the main aspect of this verse. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, point number 1. An experienced devotee explains and an inexperienced devotee learns from him. This is called Guhyam Akhyati Prachati. When a devotee distributes prasad, remnants of food offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in order to maintain our spirit of devotional service, we must accept this prasad as the Lord's grace received through the pure devotees. We should also invite pure devotees to our home, offer them prasad, and be prepared to please them in all respects. This is called Bhungte Bhojayate Chaiva. These 6 are foundational in all in all spheres of life. Even in ordinary social activities, these 6 types of dealings between two loving friends are absolutely necessary. Example, for instance, when one businessman wishes to contact another businessman, he arranges a feast in a hotel, and over the feast, he openly expresses what he wishes to do. He then inquires from his business friend how he should act, and sometimes presents are exchanged.
Yeah, conclude.
Thus, whenever there is a dealing of preeti or love in intimate dealings, these 6 activities are executed.
Yeah, here Prabhupada concludes that he just gives a brief introduction initially about these 6. Once he writes uh, the first part of the purport, that Prabhupada Swami is explaining how to perform devotional activities in the association of the devotees. So how to perform devotional activities in the, so these are 6 kind of activities. So these are all 6 kind we read. Then Prabhupada succinctly explained about the 6. Guhyamaka Prichati means what? He says that an experienced devotee explains and an inexperienced devotee learns from him. This is a Guhyamaka Prichati, how to chant, how to improve chanting, how to do devotional service, how to worship the Lord, how to associate with devotees, what to do, what not to do. So these are all guhima karipruchati. There are many personal challenges or even many times some very wonderful experiences one has in devotional services, in devotional life, either positive or negative. One keeps on sharing and taking guidance and also sharing his experiences, beautiful experiences. Everybody will have some experiences in devotional life. It's like a confrontation with the Lord. Sometimes it directly we understand it's Lord's mercy only. Other than that, there was no other cause. So like that, the experiences also will be there in devotional life. So we understand that this is exclusively by the mercy of the Lord only. Sometimes it may happen that we are in railway station alone, going, and suddenly some devotee may appear, and he will help. I mean, I had many times experiences like that. Out of nowhere, devotee appears. So there are many experiences you definitely might have had. So these are all special mercy of the Lord in our lives. So that also we can share with others to improve, to strengthen our faith in each other, not only in each other in the devotional service and in the mercy of Krishna, the process of devotional service. So that builds a relationship also very strong as we keep on sharing with other devotees. So that need to be practiced in the association of devotees. May not be with everyone, but there has to be some group, some small or bigger, whatever, that we need to keep on sharing Guhima Kati Prichati. And other things also, other things Prabhupada mentioning here about the distribution of prasad, accepting and offering prasad. We need to exchanging prasad, offering prasad. These are all Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you see Chaitanya Charitamrita, almost many pastimes there are detailed descriptions of prasadam distribution, prasadam bringing, prasadam interrelated to prasad. There are so many pastimes. So on one side, we are definitely careful about last two verses we read, Jimva Vegam, Madhurapastha Vegam, etc. and Atyahara, etc. At the same time, the potency of prasad we cannot undermine in sharing with others. So that is basically exercising the heart. All these six, this is one of the main point. Also, the verse. Bhakti is the process of heart. It's not process of mind, intelligence. Like yogis, they try to perfect some yoga siddhis with intelligence and mind. Jnanis are more focused on intelligence, trying to analyze everything. Of course, karma yoga is more focused on senses, intelligently enjoying the senses. But the process of bhakti is centered around the heart. So exercising the heart. Definitely we are intelligently studying the Shastras, but our main focus is the bhakti is the process of heart. The love of God, what we speak every day, prema bhakti, it's the feeling of the heart, the devotion of the heart. So by exercising these six, our heart becomes more and more softened. Yeah, heart will become softened by all these activities. So this is by that we improve not only our relationship with devotees, but our hearts also become quite softer and softer day by day. So this is subtle points of what Prabhupada is mentioning. So in order to maintain our spirit of devotional service, we accept this prasad as Lord's grace received through pure devotees. And invitation of devotees, especially as a grihasthas, there can be some many times or sometimes you can invite other devotees other Grihastha devotees, other devotees to be with the family and taking prasad together. That is a one way of trying to exchange Vaishnava etiquettes, Vaishnava dealings, pleasing each other. That is the one point. Bhungte bhojete chaiva. By that, our relationship, devotional relationship, strengthens. That's what main point. And Prabhupada gives the even normal, ordinary day-to-day activities in social, in outside people also. All these things are involved. So Prabhupada concludes that thus, whenever there is a dealing of preeti or love in an intimate dealings, these 6 activities are executed. So when there is preeti in the heart, externally these 6 activities are executed. So now we are trying to, opposite also will work. We are trying to develop love towards Krishna and devotees by executing these 6 externally. Internally also we develop love later on. Preeti will develop. So that's what we are trying to do. We are offering the Lord everyday bhoga. We are worshipping Him. So these are all different activities we are trying to do. And we are the original love of God, which is there in the heart. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kapunoy. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta Karayavadoy. So what is there dormant in the heart? The Preeti. Of course, Preeti is there, but we have a Preeti in a different direction. Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions. Vishaye ye Preeti be achaye amara. Sei mata Preeti hoka charane tomar. Vishaye Preeti be. I have Preeti for what? I have Preeti to Vishaya now. Achaya Amar, I have so much Preeti to Vishaya now. But let that Preeti be directed towards your lotus feet. Say Preeti hoga charane tomar. Let that Preeti be towards your feet. So we need to divert all these activities from matter to spirit, or from the ordinary material material executing these limbs. We need to divert to spiritual limbs by putting Krishna in the center. So that's how we can develop Preeti also towards the Lord in due course of time. Not only when there is Preeti in the heart, these 6 are executed. Just like mother has a lot of love towards the child, she keeps on feeding the child and doing so many activities for the child. That is coming out of love. So by doing activities also, we develop love towards Lord in similar way. By externally doing, we develop love towards the Lord. So now Prabhupada starts more in detailed explanation of this, each limb. Yes, please continue.
Okay, detailed explanation. In the previous verse, Srila Rupa Goswami advised that one should renounce worldly and keep company with the devotees. Sangha Tyagat Sato Vritti. Where and how to execute them. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness has been established to facilitate these 6 kinds of loving exchanges between devotees. This society was started single-handedly, but because people are coming forward and dealing with the give and take policy, the society is now expanding all over the world.
Yeah, here
Yeah.
Prabhupada mentioning about from the previous verse is connecting as we discussed. One should renounce worldly association and keep the association of the devotees. So basically about association. So where and how to execute that association? So that is ISKCON, International Society. That's where we find the association of the devotees and we give up non-devotee association. Establish it to facilitate the 6 exchanges. So the main purpose of ISKCON is to गुह्यमाख्याति पृच्छति, भुङ्क्ते भोजयते चैव, and dadati pratigruhnati. These are all the six are very much the heart of ISKCON. As Prabhupada mentions as we see in the purport later on. So this give and take policy is dadati pratigruhnati. Because of that, now expanding all over the world. Yes,
Prabhuji, the first statement,
pardon?
Prabhuji, is the first statement actually Hare Krishna?
ISKCON is?
Yeah, Prabhuji, is the first statement given by Srila Prabhupada?
Prabhuji, you
statement.
just type your question on chat. Actually, your voice
Yeah,
is
yeah,
very
yeah.
flickery.
First statement.
Yeah,
Yeah,
chat
your
it.
voice somehow.
Put it to chat. Yeah, you can put it to everyone, and maybe I'll read it for you.
Yeah, continue read. We will receive the question.
Prabhuji. We are glad that people are donating very liberally to the development of the society's activities, and people are also eagerly accepting whatever humble contribution we are giving them in the shape of books and magazines dealing strictly with the subject matter of service. We sometimes hold Hare Krishna festivals and invite life members and friends to participate in the feasting by accepting prasad. Although most of our members come from the higher rungs of society, they nonetheless come and take whatever little prasad we are able to offer them. Sometimes the members and supporters inquire very confidentially about the methods of performing devotional service, and we try to explain this.
Yeah. How far is
Summary
okay?
and
Yeah, you can conclude this one. We'll stop.
Sure. Summary and conclusion. In this way, our society is successfully spreading all over the world, and the intelligentsia of all countries is gradually appreciating our Krishna consciousness activities. The life of the Krishna conscious society is nourished by these six types of loving exchange among the members. Therefore, people must be given the chance to associate with the devotees of ISKCON, because simply by reciprocating in the six ways mentioned above, an ordinary man can fully revive his dormant Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. So here Prabhupada is more explaining about how these are all happening in ISKCON. So people are coming, donating liberally, charity, dadati, they are giving from their side. And we are also giving them. What we are giving them? We are giving them in terms of books and magazines. So that is dadati pratigruhnati from their side. And sometimes we hold Hare Krishna festivals, members for Prasadam. Here Prabhupada speaks about love feasts, bhungte bhojayate cheva. So we are all, as ISKCON, we are offering prasad to everyone. And they also inquire about confidential about how to do how to chant, what is the process. So we give them guhyamakyati pruchati, what is life, why I'm suffering, why this is happening to my family, or how to lead a peaceful and happy life. People keep on inquiring. So then we keep on sharing confidentially. Guhyamakyati pruchati. So these are all happening in the ISKCON society at various levels. That's what Prabhupada mentioning here. So, and also for that purpose only, ISKCON is established to facilitate all the exchanges between the members, inside members also, and the members with people also in general. As Prabhupada is bringing out in conclusion, that life of Krishna conscious society, the life, if the Krishna conscious society has to have life, then there should be some exchanges among the members. if these 6 types are not present, then the life will go and it appears simply a dead body. Then there is no life. So to the degree we keep up all these 6 items in our devotional process, yeah, definitely at various levels, at individual level, at a counselor level, at a temple level. If we keep on focusing on these 6, then our society becomes more and more energized and it will nourish more and more. Then within members they are also become strong, and by their association, and Prabhupada saying people must be given chance to associate with devotees of ISKCON. By seeing that, people also will become attracted. So we may talk about these loving exchanges are there in spiritual world, or the activities of spiritual world. Keep on exchanging prasad, keep on talking about Krishna. Mungte bhojete jeva, nadadi pratigannati. These are all activities of spiritual world. And Prabhupada books speak about all these spiritual activities. And when people study the books of Prabhupada, and only when they see these activities within the members of a community or society, then only they will have faith in the books. They may read the books, but if they don't see some examples, it doesn't give much impetus to practice. We all had and having and will have definitely great experiences in terms of how devotees are, how wonderful devotees association is. That's how we are in touch with devotees and we are practicing devotional service. How it is entirely different from outside world, at least most of the devotees. Some may have very crude experiences with the devotees also many times. That is unfortunate situation because of various reasons. But still, it is a duty of our all of us, as we need to practice these principles in our life to attract more and more people to the way of bhakti, and finally to inspiring them to go back to Godhead. That's what Prabhupada is mentioning here. So Prabhupada is asking, has Prabhupada given the first statement, if has any reference? What is the first statement?
Yeah, this one, the International Society of
Okay.
has been established. Yeah.
Established to facilitate these 6 kinds of loving nations. Now, this is from my only addition is this headlines. Other than that, everything is proper purport only.
Okay.
Only I added the anything you see underline and green. This is the only I added the heading so that we are understanding more. Apart from that, everything is Prabhupada only.
Okay.
So this is the Prabhupada statement. Whether they have any reference, Prabhupada's 7 purposes reflect some of these things. May not be directly, but because Prabhupada lectures have many of these references for this. Prabhupada letters, Prabhupada conversations, and Prabhupada other literature, especially lectures, as I shown for the verse for Utsaha. And this is also, especially Prabhupada biographies, if you see, his life is very much based on these 6 loving exchanges between from initial day onwards. He started with prasadam giving. As you know, that single-handedly he started love feast, was cooking for them, offering them 10, 12 items every day lunch prasad. So Prabhupada practically had many pastimes with this prasad or exchanging, and
Yes.
of course, and philosophy also. Dadadi Guhima Krat Krichiti also. The letters are all mostly in that category. People, devotees are inquiring from Prabhupada. Prabhupada is sharing his confidential matters, how to do devotional service. One past time I just remember that I also read This pastime very much gives the idea of second verse also, at the same time third verse also, how he was determined. This was in 1974. That time when Prabhupada came to open Krishna Balaram temple, but things were not at all up to the mark, up to the expectations. He thought he will open, but there was nothing, even what to speak of completion, there was even not coming to end of completion. So he was very much disturbed, and his health was also very, very much down, very much down at the time, 1974. But he was facing a lot of trouble with cement and steel. At the same time, that time the minister of governor of Uttar Pradesh, who was Muslim, I think Abdul Khan something was there. He was visiting Vrindavan, and the devotees were trying to bring to meet Prabhupada, and it was arranged by through a friend of devotees. So he was quite sick. He was quite sick that he was unable to get up also. He had a lot of fever. So, but Prabhupada disciples were insisting that you should not meet him. You are so ill and you cannot talk. You are unable to sit. Prabhupada said, "Okay, no problem. Let us call him first, and then we will see." So he was being given an invitation to the temple, and then Prabhupada told to make a feast first of all. So then he came, and Prabhupada met him in the garden. Prabhupada was unable to walk, so devotees took in a wheelchair to the garden, and Prabhupada was practically shaking and trembling. But he was quite tolerating everything and speaking to the minister. And minister spoke around 20 minutes about how he is speaking on his own subject of how industry should be developed to improve the economy. And Prabhupada spoke also later on 20 minutes about devotional service. And then Prabhupada said, let us have a feast. So in spite of bad health, ill health, just to have a custom and to have it the guests. So he also took the feast prasad. So he was quite sick, quite ill. So then everybody had the feast, and then everybody they were very much pleased, and they left. After Prabhupada, after they left, Prabhupada just was brought inside, and he was collapsed with a fever of 105. So it took almost around 15-20 days later on to again recover his health, Prabhupada. But that was a major breakthrough for to give the sanction for steel and cement to construction that governor did after the visit. So here we see many things are happening here in this small pastime. Prabhupada could accomplish many things in terms of showing how a guest should be invited and sharing prasadam, cooking prasadam, feast kind of prasadam, showing about determination of Prabhupada and how we need to be enthusiastic, how we need to be determined. So various exchanges like this, even with the devotees also, he did it. In Tamal Krishna Maharaj also, there was a very, very, very intelligently Prabhupada dealt with. He was a sannyasi, he was a very much authority for a bus party, Sankirtan bus party, Radha Damodar bus party, Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. A lot of money, a lot of people with him. So Prabhupada invited one time for prasad. He just called him. He was not knowing. Tamal Krishna was not knowing why he was calling. So Prabhupada called at noon time, and he came. And Prabhupada said to his servant, make 2 plates. So second plate was made. Prabhupada sat. And then Tamal Krishna Maharaj could not understand who is for second plate. There was no second person. Then Prabhupada surprisingly invited Tamal Krishna Goswami. Please come and sit. This was first time that Prabhupada is inviting and making him sit next to him along with him and making him honor, respecting Mahaprasad. Then Tamal Maharaj honored Mahaprasad, both honored Mahaprasad, and after everything, then after Mahaprasad, then both sat and discussing. Now, then Prabhupada brought out the main business. My dear Tamal Swami Maharaj, I need I need some donation from loan from your Radha Damodar party. We need to build temples and distribution for books also in India. So, I mean, as a spiritual master, he could have ordered all these notes. I mean, hey, you should send books and money. No, it was a kind of a reciprocation, dealing with the devotee. And also, it's a Vaishnava etiquettes. And that's how Prabhupada also many times dealt with disciples in a very pleasing way, give and take policy. And there are many other things, definitely, but these are all very Vaishnava culture, how we reciprocate with each other. That also develops and builds the relationship and respect for each other. These are very, very fine subtleties of devotional service, what Prabhupada is bringing out here, especially in this verse. And these are all, they may not be in books, we can find all these, but in his Lilamrit, in his biographies by other devotees. So, remembering Prabhupada, all this, we can find many of these aspects. How he dealt with devotees, superiors, equals, and juniors, outside people. How he Prabhupada dealt was real and everything. Of course, definitely the Prabhupada had strong voice, strong comments, cutting words when it is needed. But at the same time, Prabhupada was known for his loving and kind nature with many. Yes. Okay. Continue, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Why we need to do these? Why we need to do those six in association? Basic principles explained. In the Bhagavad Gita 2.62, it is stated, Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. One's desires and ambitions develop according to the company one keeps. It is often said that a man is known by his company, and if an ordinary man associates with devotees, he will certainly develop his dormant Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, this is the basic principle. Sangat Sanjayate Kama. As we discussed that, association means developing desires in kind of a synergy kind of them, and both, if a particular person has some desires, by associating with him, we also may tune to his desires and ambitions. That's why we keep positive association. Yes. Continue.
So, by the association, does Krishna consciousness is create in others? No, they elevate Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, it's created.
KC is Krishna consciousness here.
The Krishna is created. Yeah.
Okay. So, by the association, does Krishna consciousness is created in others? No, they elevate Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, it's not
The
created.
understanding of
Yeah, basically, the point is, as explained, that the prema or the preeti or Krishna consciousness is dormant. It is not created by others. It's just elevated by the association of devotees. Continue.
right. The understanding of Krishna consciousness is innate in every living entity, and it is already developed to some extent when the living entity takes a human body. It is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 22.107, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabu Nai Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karanaye
Karayavata.
Karaye Udaye.
Uday. Hmm.
Pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, that love naturally awakens. Since Krishna consciousness is inherent in every living entity, everyone should be given a chance to hear about Krishna. Simply by hearing and chanting Shravanam Kirtanam SB 7523, one's heart is directly purified and one's original Krishna consciousness is immediately awakened.
Yeah, so here Prabhupada is uh, bringing out the point that we do all these six principles in the association, and also we need to give the people chance to practice these six. So why we need to do? Because it is the aim of life. Because the by association of the devotees, they also change their desires. Because human life is meant for attaining the higher goals and develop Krishna consciousness by association of the devotees. And in the association, we practice these six. That's why they need to be given also. We also need to practice, and they also need to be given a chance to practice other people. And it is not created externally, it's just internally it's awakened by the association. Yes.
How it is elevated. Krishna consciousness is not artificially imposed upon the heart. It is already there. When one chants the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the heart is cleansed of all mundane contaminations. In the first in the first stanza of his Sri Shikshashtak, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Cheto Darpan Marjanam, Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, Shriyah Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam, Vidya Vadhu Jeevanam, Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam, Purnamruta Swadanam, Sarvatmastapanam Paramam, Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Chaitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 2012. All glories to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all the transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. By chanting, only the chanter is elevated. By chanting, only the chanter is elevated? No. Anyone who happens to hear any examples not only is the chanter of the Maha Mantra purified, but the heart of anyone who happens to hear the transcendental vibrations of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, is also cleansed. Even the souls embodied in lower animals, insects, trees, and other species of life also become purified and prepared to become Krishna conscious simply by hearing the transcendental vibrations. This was explained by Thakur Haridas when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from him how living entities lower than human beings can be delivered from material bondage. Haridas Thakur said that the chanting of the holy names is so powerful that even if one chants in the remotest part of the jungle, the trees and animals will advance in Krishna consciousness simply by hearing the vibrations. This was actually proved by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself when he passed through the forest of Jharkhand. At that time, the tigers, snakes, deers, and all the other animals abandoned their natural animosity and began chanting and dancing in Sankirtan. Can we also do those miracles? Of course, we cannot imitate the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but we should follow in his footsteps. We are not powerful enough to enchant the lower animals such as tigers, snakes, cats, and dogs, or entice them to dance. But by chanting the holy names of the Lord, we can actually convert many people throughout the world to Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, so
How to
here Prabhupada, so the topic came to chanting holy names, right? Finally, Prabhupada is trying to bring out the essence. So why all these 6 activities, by the association of the devotees, what should happen? So that should happen that the internal, the dormant love for God or dormant love for Krishna is there, that which is present, that has to be brought out by all the 6 exchanges. That is the main goal. So that will be brought out easily by chanting holy names. So that's what happened by association of the devotees. In the association of the devotees, they give us the prime method for the revival of our dormant love, chanting Hare Krishna. And Prabhupada explains how practically it happens. Scientifically, Chatutarpana Marjanam explained, and he's giving examples also. So by these 6 process of loving exchanges in the association of the devotees, the heart has to be purified, and that happens by especially by the association of the devotees and chanting the holy names. We ourselves, and we also give others as opportunity. So that's why this topic came. That in between, in the sense that Prabhupada brought out here the main essence of the what should happen in the association of the devotees. That we need to also develop the faith in the holy names to purify our heart, develop the dormant love for Krishna, the ultimate goal, by the 6 exchanges. That should be the main center theme topic. We also need to develop by the practice of devotional service, and also we give others chance to come to this point of chanting Hare Krishna and developing understanding their human form of life and purifying their hearts. So that should be the central theme of these 6 activities: chanting holy names, purifying our hearts, and developing a Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhika Banoy Shavanadi Shuddha Chitta Karayodaya. That is the central theme that Sai Prabhupada is focused on. Very much part of the purport, most of the major part of the purport also to this chanting holy names and how it is revived. And then he comes to again the point of how we are trying to how it is included in the part of the Dadi principle, how we are giving the holy name to others. This is also charity to others. That's what he brings out the point that giving others holy name is also a part of the Dadi principle. So how to apply it on a social level, all these things. Yes, Rose. Any other devotee wants to read?
Yes, Roji. How to apply on social level, contributing or distributing the holy name of the Lord is a sublime example of contributing the or giving charity, the Dadati principle. By the same token, one must also follow the Pratighanati principles and be willing and ready to receive the transcendental gift. One should inquire about the Krishna consciousness moment and open his mind in order to understand the situation of this material world. Thus, the Guhyam Akhyati Prachati principle can be served. The members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness invite the society's member and supporters to dine with them when they hold love feast in all their branches every Sunday. Many interested people come to honor prasada, and whenever possible they invite members of the society to their homes and feed them substantially with prasad. In this way, both the members of the society and the general publics are benefited.
So here the principle Prabhupada explained little more detail. The both members of society and general public are benefited. How? By giving and taking giving and taking policy. Prabhupada mentioned initially. So society members give them the knowledge, give them holy name, and give them many times prasad also when they come. And when the society members go to their houses publicly. Previously also Prabhupada used to visit many of the life member houses. Prabhupada visited and took prasad with all of them, with life members. This was one of the major activity of Prabhupada in India when he came to spread the movement. He used to make life members and go to their homes, inspire them, talk to them, share the knowledge, take prasad, give prasad. This was the main activity when Prabhupada was in India spreading the movement. So both the members of society and public in general, both will get benefited because we are giving from our side what we have in terms of chanting the holy, in terms of knowledge, holy name, and prasad, and they are also getting benefited by offering whatever they have, donations, their resources, and by taking prasad, they are also getting purified slowly, slowly. So this is and ready to receive the transcendental gift. One must also follow the pratigrunnati. Dadati means to give. Pratigrunnati means to receive. Pratigrunnati to receive principle. We also receive. Receive and be willing and ready to receive the transcendental gift. So people, it's a gift, transcendental gift. It's and also for us also as devotees we are practicing devotional service. And when spiritual master, when we are initiated, or when we are trying to apply for initiation or aspire for initiation, and as we are preparing for ourselves in initiation, spiritual master gives the gift, transcendental gift of the holy name. Definitely we are practicing the holy name now, but when spiritual master chants on the beads, and spiritual master just doesn't just give the beads, he gives the beads to the disciple. It's a transcendental gift. So because it's purified and it's invested with the spiritual potency, that has a great potency, efficacy in terms of practicing spiritual life. So that is the principle of receiving and giving the transcendental gifts in the members, within the members, and also with outside of the devotees. So we practice within the members also the 6 principles, and we try to share with others by exercising the 6 principles. With we need to be when we are saying exercising the 6 principles with outsiders, we need to be extremely careful about what Prabhupada mentioning, that sangat sanjayate kama. We try to give them, but when we are taking from them, we need to be extremely sensitive, at the same time cautious what we are taking from them and how we are taking from them. So if they are offering many kinds of prasads, other things of different demigods, etc., we need to be sensitive also how to take, when to take, and what to do with that. These are all subtleties we need to follow to maintain the relationship and to inspire them more and more in devotional service. But in the name of reciprocating, we give them prasad, and whatever they give also we cannot eat if they are offered some which are not in our devotional principles, onion and garlic. Of course, we don't accept, but in terms of even without that, also we need to be little sensitive and careful about what we are taking from them. So these are some subtleties we need to see how to do that. Okay. Now Prabhupada continues what people in general should do and should not do.
What people in general should do and should not do. People should give up the company of so-called yogis, jnanis, karmis, and philosophers.
Philanthropist.
Philosophy,
Yeah.
Philanthropist.
Philanthropist
because-
means those who give charity to religions, religious institutes, etc.
Because their association can benefit no one. If one really wants to attain goal of human life, he should associate with the duty of Krishna consciousness moment, because it is the only moment that teaches one how to develop love of God.
Yeah. So here Prabhupada is generally giving social theological application, what people should do. People should not associate with those people, karmis, gyanis and yogis, and they should associate with the devotees only. Yes. Then they may ask question. What they will ask question? Yeah. Continue. People in general. Read Prabhuji.
People in general, why we should worry so much about this? Live and let live.
So if the people in general have the question, okay, why you are bothering us so much? Why we should worry about all these exchanges and all? You live your way and we will live our way. Live and let live. Okay, what Prabhupada is saying for that?
Religion is the special function of human society, and it constitutes the distinction between human society and animal society. Animal society has no church, mosque, or religious system. In all parts of the world, however downtrodden human society may be, there is some system of religion. Even tribal aborigines in the jungle also have a system of religion. When a religious system develops and turns into love of God, it is successful. As stated in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6, Savaya Pumsa Paro Dharmo Yatho Bhaktir Adopshaje Ahetuki Apratiyata Eyatma Suprasajati. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the self.
Yeah, so here people, what Prabhupada answering for the question they ask, why you are worrying, why you are all troubling so much. So for that Prabhupada explained, no, you are human being, you are all in human society. We need to understand about spiritual life. We need to understand about what constitutes religion. Because we are different from animals. We need to take up the spiritual life because that is the main aim of human life, spiritual practices and spiritual goal, and that is the parodharma. And that parodharma is mentioned here, that which turns into love of God finally. That is the actual religion. So that's because we born in human life, human society, we should definitely practice and come to the ultimate goal of human life. Yes, Prabhupada is concluding here. Yes, please continue.
If the members of human society actually want peace of mind,
Tranquility.
tranquility, and friendly relations between men and between nations, they must follow Krishna conscious system of religion, by which they can develop their dormant love for Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead. As soon as people do so, their minds will immediately be filled with peace and tranquility.
Tranquility. Yeah, so see, Prabhupada, many times, most of the emphasis here he gave that the human life, human society, their main activity is spiritual life. The spiritual life is based on chanting the holy names, purifying the heart, and developing the dormant love for Krishna. This is the central theme here Prabhupada is bringing out. That's because initial 2-3 verses is more of controlling the mind and senses and urges. That is the only platform. That is only a basic thing that we need to do. But the ultimate goal is not just sticking to those tapasya principles only. Ultimately, they have to fructify in purifying the heart and bringing out the dormant love which is there in the heart. By that only we will be completely satisfied. Otherwise, will be otherwise it is just a matter of time if you trying to control the senses, and later on the senses again will come back their full force. So we are not just focused on controlling the mind and senses, but the ultimate success of the controlling the mind and senses is trying to follow instructions of spiritual master, as I mentioned in the first verse. The main the factual control of the senses is to try to follow the instructions of spiritual master. By that we develop the dormant love that only can satisfy the heart. We may feed the stomach 1 day, 2 day, and we are feeding the stomachs, and stomachs are always empty. Though we are feeding from last many years, many lifetimes, it is always hungry. And even though we may fill our eyes and ears with so many other things, and all the senses with so many other things, they will not be satisfied. It is just like pouring ghee on the fire. They will not be satisfied at all. They will always be empty. As long as the heart is not filled with dormant love for Krishna, what is there in the heart, if we are not bringing out, then the hungry stomach, hungry eyes, hungry ears, hungry senses will always remain hungry till whatever extent we may try to fulfill them, their demands. So that's the point here. Prabhupada is most emphasizing that we need to bring to the ultimate the point that we, by purifying our hearts, by practicing regulative principles, by practicing chanting Hare Krishna, we develop that the dormant love that can only satisfy and fulfill all the senses. By that only all the senses are pacified. Without that, all the senses will still remain hungry for eternally. They will remain hungry. So that point very nicely Prabhupada quotes in Srimad Bhagavatam. I am just sharing that purport. It's a beautiful line Prabhupada writes. I'll just read these lines. Someone can read.
The whole material world is full of hungry living beings. The hunger is not for good food, shelter, or sense gratification. The hunger is for the spiritual atmosphere. Due to ignorance only, people think that the world is dissatisfied because there is not sufficient food, shelter, defense, and objects of sense gratification. This is called illusion. Although the living being is hungry for spiritual satisfaction, his hunger is misunderstood to be material hunger. But the foolish leaders cannot see that even the people who are most stumptus materially satisfied are still hungry. And what is their hunger and poverty? This is actually for spiritual food, spiritual shelter, spiritual defense, and spiritual sense gratification. These can be obtained in the association of Supreme Spirit, Lord Shri Krishna, and therefore one who has them cannot be attracted by the so called food, shelter, defense, and sense gratification of the material world, even if they are relished by the denizens of the heavenly planets.
Yeah, so here, so profound lines of Prabhupada that the whole material world is full of hungry living beings. But the hunger is not for good food, shelter, and gratification. Hunger is for rich atmosphere. So our hearts are hungry for many things that cannot be fulfilled by any other material things except with Krishna's love and service. Only when it is filled and everything, all other senses will be satisfied by that one thing. So for that, we keep on practicing devotional life and try to experience devotional life, so that we are we are uh, safely and protected from all these senses and mind, which are always troubling us. Okay, now Prabhupada almost kinds of concludes his commentary, and he gives what Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur is saying about these principles. Continue.
His Divine
The
Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, with whom we should not apply these 6 principles. In this regard, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur warns all devotees engaged in broadcasting the Krishna consciousness movement not to speak to the impersonalists or Mayavadis, who are always determined to oppose such theistic movements. The world is full of the world is full of Mayavadis and atheists, and the political parties of the world take advantage of Mayavad and other atheistic philosophies to promote materialism. Sometimes they even back a strong party to oppose Krishna consciousness movement. The Mayavadis and other atheists do not want the Krishna consciousness movement to develop because it educates people in God consciousness. Such is the policy of atheists. There is no benefit in feeding a snake milk and bananas because the snake will never be satisfied. On the contrary, by taking milk and bananas, the snake simply becomes more poisonous. Kevalam vish vardhanam. If a snake is given milk to drink, its poison simply increases. For a similar reason, we should not disclose our mind to the serpent Mayavadis and Karmis. Such disclosures will never help. It is best to avoid it is best to completely avoid associating with them and never ask them about anything confidential because they cannot give good advice. Nor should we extend the invitations to Mayavadis and atheists or accept their invitations, for by such intimate intermingling we may become affected by their atheistic mentality. Sangat sanjayate kama. It is the negative injunction of this verse that we should refrain from giving anything to or accepting anything from the Mayavadis and atheists. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also warned Vishaya Vishayera Anna
Shira Anna Kaile
Kaila
Dushpahayama. Yeah.
Dushtahaimana. When one eats food prepared by worldly people, one's mind becomes wicked. Unless one is very advanced, he is unable to utilize everyone's contribution to further the Krishna consciousness movement. Conclusion. Therefore, on the principle, one should not accept charity from the Mayavadis or atheists. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has forbidden devotees to associate even with ordinary men who are too addicted to material sense gratification.
Yeah, here Prabhupada gives from the Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur is giving comments. Of course, he is commenting on impersonalist Mayavadis. We don't talk to them or we don't share with them. Definitely, it may happen that many advanced devotees may try to talk or share, but the basic principle will remain same, that we don't take their desires or ambitions. It may happen sometimes that we may talk to people. It may be a little difficult to avoid completely outside people, as we are living in the world. Talking to outside people Mayavadis means they are not like one. Definitely, they are one class of people, especially those who believe in the impersonalism, or those who believe that there is no form of God. So those are called Mayavadis as per Prabhupada. And so we don't know exactly who is Mayavadi. Externally, we may see them also. Many times they appear in the form of devotees also. There is a pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. There was Raghunath Bhattacharya once. He was coming from Varanasi. Along with him, one Ram Mishra was joined in his journey from Varanasi to Puri. So he was the next person. The second person was chanting holy name of Lord 24 hours a day. He was serving Raghunath Bhattacharya. He was lifting his luggage. He was doing all kinds of menial services to Raghunath Bhattacharya. He was crying tears while chanting holy names. So after coming to Puri, when both offered obeisances to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu even didn't look at Ram Mishra. And he was quite surprised, Raghunath Bhattacharya. Then later, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami concludes that this fellow, Ram Mishra, though he is externally showing tears and all, chanting Ram's name, but internally is aspiring to merge in Ram and to become Ram. So that was the case of many of the people nowadays. Though externally they may say devotion, crying, and chanting names and all, internal desires may be entirely different. So we need to be a bit careful about what is their philosophies, what they practice and all. That's what Prabhupada is giving a warning. That we need to be careful, just like he is giving example of Kevalam Vishwardhanam. If anything that we share or give them, it will only increase their poison, Kevalam Vishwardhanam. So they will also pollute our consciousness by their mentality, and others also, whomever they are trying to preach to. So we completely avoid them. I think document is went in a mode of saving. Now, Prabhupada here basically is saying that it is a negative injunction of this verse that we should refrain from giving anything to or accepting anything from the Mayavadis and the theists. So this is a negative. There are two things. Any statement has two things. One is positive injunction, one is negative injunction. The positive injunction says that what to do, and the negative injunction says what not to do. So Dadati Pratigrunnati Guhim Akyati Bhunte Bhojete Deva Shadvidam Prita Lakshanam. The positive injunction is that we need to do all these six in the association of the devotees and also with the people in general who are innocent. And we should not do these six things who are very much averse to devotional service or who are internally trying to cultivate a Mayavadic kind of a mentality, or who are Mayavadis, who are against the devotional service of the Lord. So we need to be extremely careful about that. That Prabhupada is sharing here. And Prabhupada also many times avoided them. And many times Prabhupada used them in devotional service. This is also one aspect that Prabhupada exhibited, that whatever they have some resources, they used to engage in devotional service also if it is possible. So that's why he's saying that unless one is very advanced, he is unable to utilize everyone's contribution to further Krishna consciousness. If a very highly elevated personality, he can take the resources and are associated with Mayavadi, and he can turn into devotee also, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with Sarvam Bhattacharya and Prakashan Saraswati and many other great stalwarts of the devotees. And they also utilized everything in Krishna service also, whatever they are trying to offer in Krishna service. So it's almost 4:28. maybe we will take up tomorrow. If you have any question, we can have 1 minute, 2 minutes. Otherwise, we'll pause here. We'll complete tomorrow the final conclusions of the verse. Anybody want to ask or share or comment on this verse or previous verses? Okay.
Prabhuji, one question. So we will need the open book questions. Why? Because although we are like a way away from the completion, but as this is progressing, so I
Yeah,
think we can, yeah, maintain some kind of map in the mind as to what is to be written. Because at the end, it may be difficult to like point out and interweave something at the for the examination purpose. So if you may share, or
yeah,
you
maybe
want
tomorrow.
us to,
Tomorrow I will try to get the
yeah,
document
yeah, yeah,
and
so
try to
that,
share the
sure,
syllabus and other things to be covered.
sure. So while you are teaching us, so you can touch base on those points which you would expect
Sure.
um like to be featured, so that we can write qualitative answers, and it will be good for us to I think record it in our minds also, because those will be very important
Yeah,
at the end. Otherwise it just becomes like an exam activity, which is not right.
surely, definitely.
Hmm? Yeah,
That's a good point. Okay. Thank you.
thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Shri
Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai Gaurav
उपदेशामृत
ki
की
jai.
जय। श्री रूप गोस्वामी पाद की
Jai,
जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय।
jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hari
Hare
bol bol.
Krishna.
So shall I end the meeting or you are ending the meeting?
No, I can end, Prabhuji. Okay,
Oh, okay.
thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hari bol.